Well, hello there and good day. Thank you for joining me. I am Frost PDP, and today we're talking about Crusader Kings 2. It's May 14th, and they just released the next dev diary, God Wills It, Deus Vult. And if you remember over the summer this year, or last year, I mean it's almost summer this year, I was working on a little side project called The People's Crusade, where I basically worked on a fan-sourced design document. I asked people on Reddit and Twitter what they'd want to see changed in the game, and I tried to implement that along with some of my own ideas into what Paradox could do to improve the Crusade mechanics to bring the game back around to its original source. And this just popped up in my Twitter feed. I'm literally doing this as I see it, so please note that I haven't not necessarily gone through everything. I don't know what's important, what's not yet, but there's a big picture here that ought to just say, wow, that's different. And hopefully they redid Jihads as well, but yeah, so they say the Crusades are a very iconic part of the game, the one that has barely seen any change since the game was released 6 years ago. Just think about that for a minute. A lot of fantastic and interesting systems have been added to the game over the years, and we wanted this very central feature to feel as deep and interesting as we can. Catholic faithful usually no longer use the Great Holy War system, instead we use the new and improved system specifically tailored to increase immersion and enhance the gameplay. The system is massive and it might be hard to fit all the information into a single document, but we'll give it our best shot. Oh my god, I'm like excited. So I'm just reading. When the Pope decides that it's time for a new crusade, he will send a call to the Catholic world for support. When he does, you can access the Crusade view by clicking the Crusade banner underneath your portrait. In the Crusade view, you will have access to a plethora of useful information, and you will be able to take actions to help the Crusade or alter its course. You'll be able to see the Pope's proposed recipient, if any, in the top left corner, and the target character and title in the top right. There'll be a timer counting down to the date when the war will start. During this time, the following can be done. Catholic rulers can pledge the military support to the Crusade. When they do, they will appear in the list of pledged participants, so that's a thing. For every Crusader that pledges, prestige, piety, and artifacts are added to the war chest. The religion being targeted by the Crusade can counter-pledge, and it's the relative strength of these two sides that is shown as total strength underneath their portion. That's genius. All Catholic rulers get the option of donating money to the war chest in exchange for piety and opinion with the Pope. The money is added to the war chest, more on that later. Crusaders who have pledged military support can add a beneficiary to the Crusade. This character must be a dynasty member, and depending on your participation in the Crusade, they may be granted a title in the Crusader Kingdom. Oh wow, that's brilliant. Yes, it's almost like, oh my god, yes. Okay, this is good. It's almost like Royal Crusades, right? Players can pay piety to change the target character and or title. The cost starts fairly low, but doubles each time to avoid spamming. This means if you'd rather have a crusade target a scary infidel realm on your immediate border, you can make it happen if you're pious enough. You can change the crusade target. That's genius! Players can choose their stance. The Pope's basically saying, I want a crusade, and then all the kingdoms are saying, here's who it should be against. Okay, I get it. Players can choose their stance on what they want to happen should they be the most participating crusader. More on this later. So if you win the crusade, it's no longer, hey, you put in the most, you suddenly end up with the kingdom. It's, hey, you did the most, here's what should happen. Alright. If a Catholic ruler chooses to neither pledge or donate, the Pope might get very upset with it. Depending on ruler's years and influence, this can range from a simple piety hit to outright excommunication. Revoking your pledge also carries a similar penalty. The war chest. When preparation phase is over, 20% of the war chest will be divided between the pledged crusaders in order to provide for their levies and fleets as they go to war. That is brilliant. The rest is saved until the end of the crusade, which uses rewards for the participants and to set up the Crusader Kingdom. I need to slow down because I'm reading too fast. The Crusader Kingdom will receive 10% of the war chest in order to steal them, not theft steal, against imminent counterattacks. The rest, including prestige, piety, and artifacts, is given out to the Crusaders who participated in the Crusade. In order to motivate you as the player to participate as much as you can, even if you don't expect to win. To ensure... I read that wrong. Let's try that again. The rest is divided in order to motivate you as the player to try even if you can't win. So even if you're like a single province count, you still want to try because you can get at least piety and prestige, but you might get an artifact too. Alright. To ensure that the top contributors don't take all of the war chest rewards, any one participant can receive at most 20% of it. As the Catholic world tends to be rather generous with their donations, this often translates into a lot of wealth. Beware though, if the crusade is lost, the majority of the contents of the war chest will be lost, and Christendom will be weaker for it. the Crusade view changes. So let's just look back and forth. So this is before Crusade starting. This is during Crusade. So you can click to see the other side. Okay, it tells you the target. It's gorgeous. Note that the numbers are still works in progress. The countdown timer is replaced by the war score, and the name of the Crusade is updated. Otherwise, the functionality remains the same, except for being able to change the target. Of course, it's too late for that. If the Crusade is successful, what will happen depends on the top contributor's stance. There are 3 stances: selfish, for my beneficiary, and comply with papal demands. The AI will always choose papal demands. I don't know if I like that idea. I wish the AI could decide to be selfish. Based that on character attributes, wouldn't be the hardest formula in the world to write. The selfish stance will see the top contributor take the lands for themselves. Doing this completely disqualifies them from the war chest and is seen as impious by the Pope. For the beneficiary stance, we'll see your beneficiary become king, queen of the lands. While still not approved by the Pope, it's not seen as impious, and you still qualify for parts of the war chest. If the Pope has chosen no recipient, this is the default behavior. Then there's comply with papal demands. Simply sees whoever the Pope wishes to rule the lands become the new king or queen. If the king or queen has no opinion, it will go to the top contributor, just like old times. In the old system, the title and all under it went to the winner of the Crusade. You also saw France or HRE, for example, own all of Jerusalem, which in honesty is very boring, and more often than this only resulted in inheritance messes. Yay, Bordigor. While a player can still choose to use the old system by choosing the selfish stance, the new default behavior is completely different. Unless the Pope wishes to restore an existing king or claim it where the normal old behavior will be used, the Crusader Kingdom will be set up. Crusader Kingdom is a multicultural kingdom made up of the beneficiaries of all participants. The top contributing participants will have their beneficiaries get higher titles in the target kingdom. To avoid the player gaming the system using inheritance, the kingdom is always set up to disallow external inheritance. And the AI tends to choose beneficiaries that do not stand to inherit or are married to someone who might inherit. Okay. Ways to limit you from just spamming growth. If your beneficiary receives land in a Crusader Kingdom, your entitled dynasty will receive a monthly boon until their death. In a future dev diary, we'll go into more regarding the importance of piety in the Catholic sphere, but rest assured it's going to be more important to be seen as pious than it's ever been, making the boon from your beneficiary rather significant. The new ruler of the Crusader state, in order to properly rule such a challenging realm, gets an appropriately named Crusader King Queen, which confers a massive same religion. I see an achievement here! And for the finale, if a beneficiary is selected to be the king or queen, you have the option of switching over to them. Taking control, you can switch characters! Character switch, nice, okay. I do have one question with regards to this that I'm going to put out there, and feel free to discuss this in the comments or on Reddit or whatever. When it comes to changing the targets, can you change to a religion that isn't the target religion originally? For example, you know where I'm going with this. Could you, as Catholics, decide it would be in your best interests to attack Constantinople? I'm just saying, screw the Venetians, but yeah. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you. If you like me doing dev diaries like this when they come out, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really does show me that you're interested in this kind of thing, and I'll do it more often. I'm responsive to my viewers. And as always on this channel, La Paz.